Hello guys, welcome to my channel. This is Kanika in front of you and this is you watching my channel The Medical World. Our today's topic is about health and wellness. We all know that health is very important for all of us and the things of health keeps on changing with time. The concept keeps on changing, but one thing does not change, its importance, without it we cannot live. So let's start our topic for today. I hope you will enjoy this video, and in this video I will give some basic information about the concepts of health and what are the determinants of health and what factors really affects our health. So let's start the video. So our first topic is about the past definition of health. The definition of the term health has changed over the years. At the end of the 18th, health was defined by what it was not. Health was the state of not being sick. At that time, the leading causes of death were disease that spread from one person to another. Pneumonia, tuberculosis, influenza were the frequent killers that time. That means during that century, the infections occur by the form of droplets, and the disease like pneumonia, TB, and influenza. If people suffered this type of disease, they they are said unhealthy. But in now modern times, there are many type of disease introduced, and there are many changes in the healthcare system. And during the first half of the 20th century, vaccination, antibiotics, health education, cleaner living condition reduces the spread of disease. That means during our with slowly with time, many things were introduced such as vaccination, antibiotics that will reduce the spread of infection. Next is the modern definition of health. During the later part of the 20th century, people have started to realize that health is more than the absence of disease. As they recognize that health is affected by factors such as lifestyle and environment, the discussion of health began to focus more on the person rather than the absence or presence of disease. A whole person has physical, emotional, social, cognitive, and spiritual dimensions. Holism focus on these dimensions of health. Each dimension relates to and depends upon the others. Current views of health gives importance to holistic health. That means nowadays in the modern century, in this 21st century, the all over health is being considered. That is the state of well-being and in all the dimensions of one's life. Providing holistic healthcare means carrying all the dimensions of the person for caring, and it is not just the physical. So I have mentioned here the definition of the health according to the WHO, that is health is the state of complete physical, mental, and social well-being, and not merely the absence of disease or infirmity. In more recent years, the WHO has recognized that health includes the ability to lead a socially and economically productive life. So this is the main definition of the health according to WHO, and it is most important definition. Whenever you go with your classes in the medical school, if you are a doctor, nurse, or personal support worker, you will learn the same definition. Every one of you will learn the same definition. So you have to keep in mind. Now the dimensions of health. There are total 5 dimensions of health. First one is the physical, second one emotional, third one social, fourth spiritual, and fifth one is cognitive. And all must be considered in the discussion of the whole health. That means nothing should be avoided if we talk about the health, because each and every aspect of this is important, and it comes under the whole person caring process. That is how we can obtain the optimal health. which is the state of achievable well-being in all the dimensions. Next, we will talk about the physical health. It is mainly influenced by the genetics and lifestyle. Physical health is achieved when the body is strong, fit, and free from disease. The following factors that contribute to the physical health of all people, including the caregivers, that is, you have to exercise regularly. In order to maintain your physical health, it is very important to exercise, living in the smoke free environment, drinking alcohol moderately or not at all. So, you should avoid drinking alcohol. Having a good night sleep, 8 hours sleep is very important if you are an adult. Maintaining the optimal body temperature or the body weight according to your BMI, that is body mass index. And next is the following safety practices such as using the seat belts and bike helmets. And next one is following a nutrition diet according to Canada's food guide. If you are an Indian, you have to maintain the diet according to your country and seeking the medical attention when needed. If you are not feeling well, so you have to seek the medical attention in order to maintain your physical. Our next topic is about the emotional health. Emotional health is not merely the absence of negative emotions, but the ability to function well and adapt appropriately to circumstances, whatever they may be. When people feel good about themselves, they are emotionally healthy. They have strong self esteem, self control, and self awareness. They are able to give and receive from others without worrying about being hurt or rejected. In contrast, emotionally unhealthy people may be depressed or have intense feeling of insecurity. When upset, they may feel overwhelmed and become aggressive. Well, if you are in medical school, you will come to deal with every type of individual who has different type of emotional health. Some may have the positive emotional health and some may have the negative emotional health. The behaviors of some of the clients may be surprising too. For example, a client who is usually cheerful may be sometimes irritable. Avoid judging them. Instead of learn to read your client's emotion so that you can respond in the caring manner. So, as a medical professional and healthcare team worker, you should have this type of skill that you have to give the care without judging anyone. Next one is the social health. So, what is social health? Social health is achieved through stable and satisfying relationship. Socially healthy people treat others with respect, warmth, and openness. They like and trust others. People with poor social health may show little regard for others and may use others for their gain. Few people enjoy strong social health all through the life. Feelings of isolation and loneliness are common among older adults and people who may have lost their partners or companions. Most people need friends and companions to help them meet their needs. These needs may be practical, that is, right to walk, and others may be deeper, that is, if they need for any companionship, for any reinsurance help, or any type of guide. So, a social support system is an informal group of people who can help each other or others outside the group. Research has shown that support system help improve overall health. Indeed, social support system may be as important to wellness as nutritional diet, a smoke-free environment, and regular exercise. Social support system can provide food, housing, and emotional support during the crisis. They can make it possible for ill and frail people to continue to stay in their home rather than to move to facility. Social supports may also help people who have dementia stay in their homes longer. Support workers may be the key members of the client's social support system. As a support worker, you can provide practical support such as help with activities of daily living and home management and emotional support by practicing compassion and care. So, this is the social health. That means you need to have a group of people in order to meet your mental and emotional need. That is why man is called the social animal and he or she needs people to live with. Next one is the spiritual health. Spiritual health is achieved through beliefs in a purpose greater than in the self. It may or may not involve being a member of a formal religion or even believing in a high being. People who are spiritually healthy may have a great understanding of what they believe to be right and wrong, and their behavior reflect their belief. They feel their life has meaning. They are more concerned about personal fulfillment rather than personal or material things. Compassion, honesty, humility, forgiveness, and clarity are the elements of spiritual health. For some people, spiritual health is closely linked to the religion. Being able to attend the regular religious worship may be very important for their spiritual health. Support workers must understand clients' expression of their spirituality. If you work in a facility, you may be responsible for transporting the clients to religion services conducted within the building. Make sure that you are not late for this task. In the private home, you may see symbols of the person's faith, such as religion icon displays in many areas of food. Always handle these items with respect. People with different culture may express their spirituality in unique ways. How they will express, because there is a culture difference, there is a diversity of people, and they all have the different types of concepts related to the spiritual health. The next topic is the determinants of health. So I will explain the determinants of health one by one. First one is the income and social status. Health status improve as you go up the ladder of income and social standing. High income determines the living conditions such as safe housing and ability to buy sufficient and nutritional food. The healthiest population are those in the society that are prosperous and have equitable distribution of wealth. The second one is the social support worker. The support from the family, friends, and community are associated with better health. Such social support networks can be important in helping people deal with and solve problems as well as in maintaining a sense of control over the circumstances of their own life. The caring and respect that occurs in the social relationship results in the sense of satisfaction and well being and seems to provide the protection against the health problems. The third one is the education and the literacy. That is, the health status improve with the level of education. Education is closely connected to socio-economic status. Effective education for children and long life learning for adults are key contributors to health and prosperity, not only of individuals but of the country as a whole. The education contributes to health and prosperity by equipping people with knowledge and skills for problem solving. It gives people a sense of mastery over their circumstances. It increases job opportunities, income security, and job satisfaction. The education improves people's ability to assess and understand the information that will help them to maintain their health. Fourth one is the employment and working conditions. Unemployment, underemployment, and stressful or unsafe work are associated with poor health. People who have more control over their work circumstances and fewer stress causing demands in their jobs are healthier and often live longer than those in the most stressful or risky jobs and activities. Next one is the social support. The importance of social support extend to the broader communities. The strength of social networks within the community, region, province, or territory or country is reflected in the institution, organization, and practices that people create to share the resources and build attachment with others. And now next one is the physical environment. All aspects of the physical environment directly affect our environmental health. According to the WHO, environmental health is physical, chemical, and biological factors external to the person or related factors related behavior. It includes the assessment and control of those environmental factors that can potentially affect the health. Some aspects of the physical environment include the air quality, noise level, soil and water conditions, and etc. The next factor is the personal health practices and coping skills. Individual can take action to prevent disease and promote the self-care, cope with challenges, develop self-reliance, solve problems, and make choices that enhance the health. Personal health choices are not the outcome of the individual choices. There are growing recognition that such life choices are greatly influenced by the socio-economic environment in which people live, learn, and work. And our last topic is unhealthy child development. A young person's development is greatly affected by his housing and neighborhood, family income, the level of parents' education, access to nutrition, food, and physical recreation, genetic makeup, and access to dental and medical work. Now, I'm going to discuss about our last topic, that is the personal factors that can influence the health. We all make choices that affect our health in one way or another. Some people eat the wrong food or drink too much alcohol. Others may take drugs, engaged in unsafe sex, or drink and drive. A person's attitude towards health is important since it influences the choices that person makes. In this context, attitude can be defined as the person's belief, value, opinions towards engaging in healthy behaviors. A number of personal factors can influence our health, but the main five factors are: first one is the personal lifestyle choices, second one is stress, third one is personal belief about healthcare, fourth one is social relationship and belongings, and fifth one is sense of control. So I'm going to define this and explain you in that. So first one I will explain about is the personal lifestyle choices. Some people make the wrong health choices for themselves or their families because they lack the knowledge or education to make the right choices. For example, some parents who are not aware of the importance of eating nutritional food might demonstrate making poor nutritional choices to their children. These children may grow up with their parents' habit and lead to their own children to make the same poor eating choices. For example, the importance of teaching the healthy lifestyle choices in Canadian schools. As a healthcare worker, you should have healthy habits yourself in regards of drinking alcohol or drinking the recreational drugs. For example, more than 2 alcohol drinks a day is harmful for most people. Women who have more than 10 drinks a week may have higher rates of cancer or other health problems compared with women who drink less. Men who have more than 15 drinks a week have higher rates of alcoholic related health problems. And now is the second factor, that is the stress. We all must deal with stress in our lives. However, it is the manner in which we deal with our stresses that influences our health in the long term. For example, some people deal with their stresses by drinking excessive amount of alcohol or by smoking the cigarettes, that is considered as the unhealthy behavior, whereas other chooses to do by jogging or to by meditation. Third factor is the personal belief about the healthcare. Personal choices and beliefs can influence whether or not a person can seek the medical treatment, take prescribed medication or herbal or non medical supplements, or even accept the care from someone who is not a family member. Personal choices and beliefs can also influence when and how a person will accept the care. For example, some people may view North American medicines as poisons and therefore distrust any advice from Western doctors, nurses, or support workers. Whereas mainstream psychology generally focus on only one part of the person, such as person's thinking, feeling, or behavior. First Nations people include such values as balance, interconnectedness, nature, and spiritually into their views of delicate balance of health, dealing, and spiritually. They believe that interconnectedness is an important part of the healing and balance is important. So, these are the personal beliefs about the healthcare. Everyone has their personal belief about the health, about their own health concepts. So our next factor that influences the health is the social relationships and belongings. It is important to the majority of us to be loved and accepted by others. Some people will make unhealthy lifestyle choices to be accepted by others. For example, a teen may engage in sexual activity before she is emotionally ready because she does not want to lose her boyfriend. In other example, even though he knows that he has a gambling addiction, a man may go to casino after work because his friends are going. So these can be defined as the peer pressure. And our last factor is the sense of control. Some people make unhealthy lifestyle choices because they feel powerless to make the correct ones. For example, a teen may start smoking cigarettes because his friends pressure him to smoke. When educating about healthy behaviors, many healthcare workers teach people that they should make their own decision and realize that they do not have to be influenced by the choices of others. This option is called the personal empowerment, and it is an important step towards making the healthy lifestyle choices. Thank you guys for watching this video. I hope you like this video and enjoy this video. In this video, we have talked about the health and wellness, and in my next video, we will talk about the illness and the disability. So don't forget to watch that video. You can relate the information, and I hope you will learn a lot by this video. As I have told you that the definition of health by WHO is very important. If you are giving the medical exam, it can come in that they can ask what are the five determinants. So I hope you enjoy this video. Thank you so much.